Hello YouTube, how you doing? It's Brad down in the beautiful Fort Myers, Florida. 78 degrees, slight breeze, low humidity. This is paradise, baby. So we're doing a series now. Hopefully it'll be a long series because I'm getting good feedback regarding submitting questions like what's your golf issue? You put it in the comments, like you can literally do that right now, and I'll make you a video. It might be tonight, it might be tomorrow. We'll see how many people are ahead of you, but this has been pretty cool. Also, make sure you subscribe and hit like. It helps the channel out a lot. It's free information. It's great information. I promise you, the least you can do is just subscribe or hit like. Now, before we get into TSC, who's an awesome dude showing great support on the channel, before we get to his question on the 15 to 45 yard chip slash pitch shot, I want to talk about that private video vault I have, Learn, Stack, and Tilt. If you watch these videos and you really study them, they're short, they're linear. There's about 20 for the first part of the program and then another 10. It comes with live broadcasted clinics and blogs. It comes with my phone number. It's $15. It's $15. It'll help you get better. It'll help you learn the game. Even if you're a pretty good golfer, it'll get you that understanding and get you some feels to get you over the hump. It's probably gonna go to about $100 in a couple days. But I wanted to give my YouTube subscribers a chance to get it for $15. It's linked in the descriptions. Private video vault with live broadcasted lessons. $15. It's insane. And you'll understand how to teach other people the system is what's really, really cool about it, okay? So here we jump into 15 to 45 yards. I just use the same sand wedge, 56 degrees loft, 12 degrees of bounce. It's a high bounce. When you have a higher bounce number, it's more likely to kind of bounce instead of dig into the turf. That's something we'll talk about a little bit later, but I only use the same club because it's the same length, the same weight, the same loft and lie, and I can also turn it into an 8 or 9 iron if I want by de-lofting the club, right? Moving that handle forward or moving the ball back. But I don't do a lot of this because the grass is pretty sticky sometimes, and this leading edge on the sand wedge, it's like a knife. It'll dig into the ground. So a lot of people can get the chili dips, can chunk it, or they know that they're gonna chunk it and they'll start flicking their wrist, they'll hit the top of the ball. So for beginners, I like them just putting their weight forward. When they do that, look at the shaft leaning forward just a bit, and it looks like the lowercase letter Y. From there, I just tell them keep your weight on the front foot, keep your arms straight and your wrists firm. This motion right here, bump and run. That's it, that's all beginners need. This will go about 15 yards right here. If my grooves are clean and it's a high performance golf ball, which I want people, not necessarily beginners, right? Because they're gonna lose a lot of balls, but once you get decent and keep the ball in play, I want you to use a high performance golf ball if you're gonna be doing chip and runs. It'll drop anchor, it'll spin, it's cool. 30 yards, for me, it's still the same thing. Let's take it back a little further. 30 yards all day long. In 45, I'll usually start getting a little body pivot going. And that'll happen naturally as you, again, use the length of your backswing to determine how far you're gonna hit a ball. So we did 15, we did 30, here's 45 for me. And you'll see that I'm activating the lower body, but I'm not using any wrists. However, I do have another option. And this was something I learned from another stack and tilt instructor who now pretty much just teaches chipping and pitching. His name is James Ridyard, a Brit. Absolutely brilliant, teaches some of the best players in the world how to chip and pitch, and he has proven on TrackMan that there's a great method of going about this in allowing that lead wrist to extend and utilize the bounce on the bottom of the club. So it's almost like a sand shot. This is amazing. He's taught me how to hit an inch, even 2 inches under the ball, and instead of leaning the shaft forward and having a problem digging, and also when you do a normal bump and run, it can be difficult to stop the ball, especially if you don't hit it clean, especially if your grooves aren't clean and you don't use a high performance golf ball like a Pro V1, right? So he showed me, just kind of feel like the weight's pretty centered, maybe just a little forward. You can see that the handle's not leaning forward, it's pretty neutral. And we're gonna feel like it's just a little bit of a bunker shot. Hit an inch or two behind and allow the club to bounce through the grass. Don't knock it until you try it. It's phenomenal because it gives you another option. For example, Down here, it can be 75, 80 degrees in January. It pretty much is every day. But the grass goes dormant, the greens are rock hard, and you can't just throw bump and runs up there. And also in modern day courses, you know, they have lots of greenside bunkers, right, that you have to go over, or water you have to go over. So you have to have an option to stop the ball with loft and spin, and you can do that if you allow a little lead wrist extension like this. Pick an inch or two behind the ball, you can miss by a mile. There has to be some grass under there. It can't be totally bare, you won't get under it, right? But it doesn't take much grass. I'll do it one more time just to show you that this is not a hard shot, and I want you to go out and work on it if you're an intermediate and you need to start hitting the ball up, or you're saying, I can't control some of these longer shots with a 9-iron or even a sand wedge when I de-loft it and throw it in there real low. It's tough to judge or feel 30, 40, 50 yards, right? So go out from 15 to 45 yards and just mess around with trying to actually get under the ball, things we tell you not to do with the normal iron strike. You're gonna do it for the bunker, and you're gonna do it to learn a new type of chip or pitch shot. I'm gonna aim a couple inches behind, try to extend my lead wrist, get under it. The more I do this, the faster I do it, the more spin, the more loft. We'll say 45 yards on this one. It's such a cool shot. You need to learn it. It's been verified. It's a factual shot that will help your game when you're ready for it. But beginners, you just need a wristless putting type motion where you lean forward and go like this. When you get good from 15 to 45 yards, the distance is determined by the length of the backswing. When you start feeling comfortable, you can start using your wrist in hitting a little bit behind and under the ball. And a little wordy there, but I'm having a blast doing this. The feedback is great. Again, in the comments, what would you like me to make for a golf video? What is your issue? What is your question? And 15 bucks, the wind's popping up here, my net just fell down. 15 bucks to learn the stack and tilt system really well. I hope you consider it. Thank you.